Hello, Dragonettes! Welcome to the Horde. No physical copy because I am going to talk about an ebook, which I actually read an ebook. It was an ARC. Yes, this is an ARC review. One of two, actually, which the first one, this is actually my second ARC that I've ever read. The first one I still have to, unfortunately, I admit I'm very bad at this, but I kind of did not, Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Wow. Hi, you're here for professionalism. Nah, you're just here for me to ramble. So, the ARC is Spider Island from TC Duck. I have also posted this review on Storygraph. I don't have a Goodreads, so the only thing I can do is either here on YouTube and Storygraph. So I got an ARC review for my honest opinion, and my honest opinion is yes, do read this book, 100%. It is not quite a full 5-star because there's something that happens near the end of the book, end of the story, that I'm like, how did the characters get this information? There's like there's not even a little sentence that says character X explains things to character Y, which would be which would explain how Y would be able to know XYZ information. So that's the only reason why it's a 4.75 and not a full 5-star. If that got caught and is fixed in the final publication, it is a 5-star book. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. There are there's like one thing that is, maybe two things that kind of get a, oh, I know where you got that information, that inspiration from. That looks like a Displacer Beast on D&D. There is, it is not an actual Displacer Beast. I will say that. Would it be a Displacer Beast? Probably, because Displacer is in the name. But it is not a Displacer Beast. Or at least it's one with the file numbers, with the numbers filed off. Also, fair warning. The name of the book is Spider Island. There are spiders in the book. And they are obviously not, while they physical spiders do show up in the book, and one of them does play a, not a, yeah, it could play, okay, it does play a part in the action of the book. So if you are an arachnophobe, I'm sorry, you might have to, I'm sorry, there are spiders in the book. And there is one clan of people, race? I think it's more of a clan, like a civilization, than an actual full-on separate race. But there are people who worship spiders and have, like, their main god is the Spider Queen. Again, more D&D references. No, they are not drow. They are not even, and the spider, no, they're not drow. They're not even evil. They just, their stories, their lore, and their beliefs revolve around spiders and the Spider Queen. They just happen to obviously diverge from the rest of the world of that this story takes place in. But so yeah. Hi, welcome to my rambles. My the written that I posted, the written review that I posted, is a little more succinct. I'm not gonna read that because that is, I wanna talk a little more, and I just it's kind of I'm. How about this one? This is what I'll say. That story, that review is going to be spoiler free. Heavy spoilers for this one. So, if you don't want spoilers, well, no, can I spoil on an arc review? I've never done this before. Like I said, this is my second arc read. My first one that my first arc review on YouTube, because the first arc that I've done, I have also only posted my review on Storygraph. So, no, just in the spirit of this, I'm not going to spoil. But, warning, spiders. Warning, there is a death. There are at least 3. One that happened before the events of the story. One that is just one of those, there's a part in the book that's like things that happen between this point and this point, and one of those is just there's an argument and someone dies. And then there's a third one that also kind of happens off, like the death itself happens off screen, but it is a major turning point in the story. Well, so does that death. That's kind of like, this is both death, like there's at least 3 deaths mentioned. Let's leave it at that. One of them happens before the plot of the story and is one of the main things about one of the 3 POV characters. The second one is an inciting incident to shit that happens in the story. And the third one, they kind of talk about mostly because it's that one, while it doesn't happen on screen, it kind of affects the one of the POV characters and the characters around him. So, like I said, there's 3 POV characters. An elderly, I wouldn't say elderly, like a middle-aged man who is in charge of safety for the events of the story, i.e., I should probably give you a little blurb of what the book is. Let me see. Let me actually kind of the description. What happens to a reality show when the island disappears? 12 contestants, 36 days, 1 deserted island. Welcome to Far Island Warrior, where players from different island nations compete for the grand prize of 1 million Farah. Enric was a safety supervisor on Far Island Warrior until a disagreement with the producer cost him his job. The studio invites him back as a consultant to investigate the mysterious death of a crew member on set. Oh, I forgot, there's 4 deaths. And that one that I just read about, that one is on page, and it's pretty much the first thing you read. But not everything on this show is what it seems. His investigation leads him to the secret labs of one of the studio's sponsors in a sinister conspiracy that could threaten the family he's fought to rebuild. Jazz's dreams have come true when he is selected as a contestant on Far Island Warrior. It's his chance to leave his tiny, spider-worshipping home and prove to his family and to himself that he can survive on his own. Blessed with the ability to climb walls, he believes he's prepared for whatever the island throws at him. Then contestants begin disappearing. Jazz is left to wonder, is this another twist from the producers? Or is something darker lurking behind the scenes? When a cataclysmic event throws the production into chaos, Jazz and Enric must trust in their abilities, for strange, supernatural forces are stirring across the Far Islands, along with a season finale that could forever change their world. Okay, so just a heads up, that only mentions 2 of the 3 POV characters. The third one is a medical I medical medical advice. Either way, she's part of the medic team who is supposed to help out, and if anything happens to the contestants, she's part of the team that will take care of them. She has some training in surgeries. She kind of dropped out of school because of political reasons. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background of this story that I'm not going to get into, because that I think you should read for yourself, and it would bog down my review if I get into all the political nuances. But she tried to become a contestant, but she is of a nation that is currently at odds with everybody else, even though she herself, her family, have left that nation because they fear the dictator that is now ruling said nation. But because she is from that nation, the producers of the show were like, no, we can't have you as a contestant. But they will allow her, because she is a nurse, or she does have medical training and was going to be a surgeon, was going to school to be a surgeon. They allowed her on the medical staff. She was the one who took care of that death that happened on screen at the beginning of the book. I don't know why I forgot that one. That one's like, that death is the main reason why POV character number 2 shows up, which was the consultant, the safety consultant. And then, that death tangentially is the reason why, contestant number 3, the stuff that goes on the island. They're all actually very well, like, this book is very well interwoven, because things that happen in one character's like, when you're following things at the POV, kind of do, like, everything that happens, even though none of them really interact until, like, the final end. The consultant and the medic do interact a little in the beginning, because he has to talk to her about the death. But after that, everything diverges, and then everything comes together. This is also one, again, in one of my reviews, there was a book, one of my reviews that I've done in this batch, that I mentioned that you don't need to know everything in order to get what you need in this book. There are many things that I do not know that are brought up, that are only brought up because they are needed to be brought up, and that are needed to be, like, because of the thing, like, there are reasons why things are happening, so we are told what we need to know about the extraneous stuff, but we don't dwell on it. We get these characters that all we get is their names. That's it. We don't know anything about them except for their names. We don't know their host. We don't know their backstory. That's fine. We don't need to know their backstory. We have questions. Not everyone gets answered. That's fine. But either way, yeah, sorry. The second POV character, the safety consultant, I really did not care for him at the beginning. The stuff that happened in his past really, while it explains what he's doing and why he's doing what he's doing, really grated on me that it kept coming up, and I'm just like, while I understand this was traumatic, and while I understand this sticks with you, and this is why things are the way they are, can we please just get on with it? Out of all the characters that have character growth, his is the most, like, one of the questions in Storygraph does character growth happen? Yes, his is the biggest one. Jazz also gets a lot of character growth. He is that third POV character. He's the one who's on the island as a contestant, but his growth is more coming into himself, whereas the supervisor's Enrix is more learning to live with the past and learning to live with what has happened. So that's what I like. Like, each character is very different. They are not all the same. Even the characters that are revolving around the three POVs are very unique and different, and are very colorful. Very colorful characters and personalities. They're not cookie cutouts, even though we only get a little bit of them. They are not cookie cutouts. They are not flat and 2D. Do we get their backstory? No. Do we need to? No. That's perfectly fine. Those are not the characters that we are following. We do get some backstories for some of the characters that we meet along the way, but again, that's because we need to know the events of their backstory and how it interacts with the plot of the story as it's happening. Everybody gets a happy ending, except for obviously those who have died, which I'm a little... It's not a full happy ending, I'll say that, because a lot of the stuff that happens is not fully resolved. But this looks like it's going to be a series, and the ARC copy I have does make mention of a possible second book. So yes, I would love to continue this series, and yes, I will be reading the other series. And will I be buying my own copy? I think I will. I don't know. I want to, because I want to know that the one thing that dropped that, I want to know if that kind of gets changed. But I would like to get a copy of this book. We'll see. We'll see. I have a lot to go through before I get any more physical copies. But no, I do enjoy this book. This was definitely it technically is a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend it, but I can't give it a full 10 out of 10. I can't give it a full 5-star because that one bit that I do hope gets fixed in the final copy. If I find it in the library, I will probably open that bit and see if they fixed it. If it's not fixed, I mean, okay, if it's not fixed, it's not the biggest deal breaker. It's just a little nitpick from me. But yeah, no, I recommend this book. It's one of those, like, it's been a while since I've had one of those. I just gotta keep reading. One more chapter. Wait a minute, why is it 3 chapters later? These chapters they are very short, they go by quickly. The pace, it moves along. It is not a slow book. It is not a slow start. Yeah, like, there's like 2-3 chapters of build up, because that's what, like, those 3 chapters are, we are meeting our characters and we are kind of learning where the pieces are, but that's it. We are hitting the ground running. It is not slow at all. Fast paced. We are moving along. We are not waiting for anybody. You're on this ride, strap in. Which was fun, because it's been a long while since I had one of those. I gotta read next. And I do not. It's not like I am not against ebooks, but it is hard for me to pay attention to an ebook because there's usually a lot of things on my phone that I'm doing otherwise. So the fact that I was able to put away all my distractions to read this ebook, this e-arc, was, again, it there is one minor thing that keeps it from a 5-star for me. And the moment if I figure out if that is fixed, it is going up to a 5-star. Even if I have not read the final, even that's it. I this is again my second arc that I've read. The first review that I've done through for YouTube. I'll do the second one right after this. I will record the second one after this, even though it will technically be late and the book would have already been out. I'm still gonna post my arc review. But the book's not out yet. It will. Let me see. It is supposed to be published in June. Ooh, June 1st. Okay, so I am definitely getting it close to the deadline. But I read this book in a weekend. I knocked out most of it in a day. So yeah, I was strapped in and I was letting it take me for the ride. 100% do recommend this book. So anyways, if I have forgotten anything, I probably have forgotten something, because again, this is a ramble. This is just me doing word vomit. But I don't want to spoil the book, so I'm trying not to spoil the book. Oh, twists and turns. There are red herrings. There are twists, and there are turns, none of which I saw coming. So, again, kudos on the author for that, because that's a killer for me. If I know what's going to happen before it happens, then I'm like, well, why am I still reading the book? Unless that's the whole point of the book, is for you to know what happens, and you're just watching the characters bumble around trying to figure shit out. But no, this is like, we do not know what's going on. We only know what the characters know, or what is told to the characters, and yeah. So, I think that covers everything I wanted to say. You're like, enjoy the book, get the book when it comes out. Read the book. 100% read the book. It is really good. I enjoyed it. But, bye!